You are now tuned into the FuseBox Radio Broadcast with DJ Fusion and Jon Judah. Syndicated worldwide to bring real black radio back to the masses.
All right, everybody. 1 2 1 2. What's going on? You're now in tune to another session of the syndicated FuseBox Radio Broadcast with DJ Fusion and Jon Judah. Since 1998, bringing you the best of what we call 21st century black radio to the masses on your FM dial, internet radio station, podcast, and website. You got myself in the mix this week, DJ Fusion. My partner Jon Judah is currently doing a little bit of vacay. He's traveling right now. Shouts out to him. He'll be back on the lines and stuff next week. But he left a mix for us to get on and popping, so that can definitely be what's good in regard to our musical diversity of old and new school joints, hip-hop, soul, funk, jazz, reggae, rock, the entire nine, as well as a little bit of news and commentary from our end and from various guest commentators. You can check out all the information about how we rock and roll either at our official blog site, blackradioinfact.com, or our official MySpace, myspace.com/FuseboxRadio, FuseboxRadio. We're also on a lot of the social network sites. You can get us at Twitter or Facebook at twitter.com/FuseboxRadio, FuseboxRadio, Facebook.com/FuseboxRadio, YouTube.com/FuseboxRadio, and so forth and so on. Or just do that lovely Google or internet search and you can find us out. And check out our weekly podcast. It's also on blackradioinfact.com and linked over there. Or you can go to Podomatic, our server, shouts out to them, and just go type in FuseBox Radio as one word, .podomatic.com to get direct access to the site on the web. Or go to iTunes, Zune, or any other type of podcatcher, and you should be able to access our show through that means. I'm pretty glad to be here another week, ready to bring in some good stuff and make things happen. We deeply appreciate all of our broadcast affiliates. We appreciate all of our listeners, regardless of which way you do it. We're very happy to be a part of the international broadcasting community. We appreciate all of our fans from wherever they at. We appreciate all of our fans' commentary. We appreciate all of our fans editorializing, hitting us up, and all that good stuff. We also appreciate the music community that hits us up with great joints all the time, from the independent circuit to the major label circuit. So, you know, we're here, we're live, ready to make it happen, ready to get things on and rolling. This week we're rolling a little different due to the fact that Judah isn't here, and also a whole lot of news has happened. I'm going to only briefly touch base on. We have a segment that's going to touch base on that this particular week, and go from there. We have a regular Black Agenda Report segment with Little Ford and all of them. Shouts out to them. We also are going to put on a Democracy Now! Segment around the second hour of the show that covers some very major topics I thought were relevant that happened within the past week. From the travesty of the sentencing of the policeman that shot Oscar Grant, a citizen going about his business in Oakland, California, young black man, in the head while he was handcuffed, and then they were trying to say it was supposed to be a taser or something like that. I can only say justice will be done on a higher plane in that regard. I definitely have condolences for his friends and family and others, and just for the black community in general. Sometimes life is just not really respected on a plane because of your race or social class, and this case is an unfortunate example of that, as well as the horribly poor coverage the mainstream media did. If it wasn't for the internet and being able to access the local feeds, people around my way on the East Coast of the United States might not have barely known anything. Big up to all the independent media outlets who are covering all different types of news and commentary and putting out different information. R.I.P. to Sugar Minott, father of one of the fathers of dancehall reggae, did dope roots reggae as well. The BP oil spill is still utterly insane. Check our Twitter feed for some of the updated information with that, and the horrible effects it's having right now on people on an environmental basis, economic basis, and other various things that are going on in that regard. Shouts out to everybody who's been putting out great albums this summer. There's been some pretty nice hip-hop albums dropping. Shouts out the Big Boy. Shouts out to Eminem. I'll count Janelle Monáe's album because she rhymes a lot on that album as a hip-hop joint. Shout out to her. And everybody who's doing their thing. I can list artists all day who are doing stuff hot from the independent circuit on down. And that's my really, really quick summary in regards to things. A lot of details about some of these cases are going to be covered in the Democracy Now! Segment. Shouts out to Amy Goodman and all the great staff that works with Democracy Now! You can check them out at democracynow.org. And let us know how you feel. On our blackradiosback.com website, there is contact information. We're kind of testing this out, but it just happened to fit in at a perfect time. Let us know. Do you want to have the Democracy Now! Segment put on? It's about 45 minutes to an hour usually. We're thinking about maybe doing it bi-monthly or monthly depending on how scenarios go. But regardless, definitely listen to that. Definitely listen to old and new school music we're going to have popping off on this week's show. And we're going to keep it moving and grooving. For all of my listeners in the Baltimore, Maryland area, FuseBox Radio will be representing at Artscape. Check out artscape.org for more details. Shouts out to the Authentic Contemporary Art Gallery crew and peoples. The flyer is up on the blackradiosback.com website. It's a free event. It's going to be a part of a lot of great arts things that are going on. So definitely check that out this July. And we're going to keep it moving here. Old, new school, all of that. News commentary, bringing some balance back to the black radio spectrum. And just the radio spectrum in general on as much of a non-sellout basis that we can possibly do. Which, we're going to do our best to do no matter what. So, we're going to keep it moving here. FuseBox Radio, DJ Fusion Jon Judah, 21st Century Black Radio for the masses. Intelligent radio, fun radio, groove radio. Alright, please.
Now listening to FuseBox Radio with DJ Fusion.
Where's my sisters? Once for the brothers. I be reppin' for the ladies. What's up, ladies? Check it out now. Now I'm the baby in the family and I got 3 siblings. 3 older brothers and we tryna make a living. So we hustle and we bubble and we coming up fast. Ain't gonna never be the same since moms and pops passed. The oldest one child, prodigy, no doubt. Ever since he was a kid, used to ride a dip shout. All grown up now. Nice job, nice clout, nice wife, nice house. Trying to take the right route. Treat this like a queen, brother gave me everything. Anytime I got in trouble, he could probably pull some strings. Daddy's footsteps, same career, same speed. Made the greatest big brother and father to his own seed. But something happened on the job, he started snapping. Problems with the wife, he wigging out and started capping. Tried to turn himself in just to make things right. Ended up taking flight cause he not the jail type.
The lesson of today, you have to listen to each and every single word I have to say because
remains fraud, means fraud. Follow the rules, you hear me?
The lesson of today, you have to listen to each and every single word I have to say because
remains fraud, means fraud. Follow the rules, you hear me? Now I got a second brother, me and this one was closer. Made me a little tomboy, like he was supposed to. Carrying up the plates, blowing weed in my face. Irresponsible to death, parents staying on his case. Probably cause he wanted to be the baby in the family. Drinking with his friends, macking up mommy Cammy, little halfway crook. Getting crazy on the mic, wasn't really in the rap, but this shit sound tight. Used to tell me all the time, don't wet nuts, sis. By this time next year, we gon' be dumb rich. That's when I heard the ill, my physical got killed. Just a couple of weeks after signing the record deal. Now somebody got the bus and after getting a little duffin' on the block, round the clock, it ain't seen nothing. Yeah, right. Never seen a brother more determined or eager. Moms and pops couldn't see it, now we not gonna see it either.
The lesson of today, you have to listen to each and every single word I have to say because
remains fraud, means fraud. Follow the rules, you hear me?
The lesson of today, you have to listen to each and every single word I have to say because
remains fraud, means fraud. Follow the rules, you hear me? Now my last and final brother, kinda something out the norm. Some say part the press, some say part the form. Record unclean since his early teens. In and out the youth house, playing all the crime scenes. Heard he hanging with fiends, smoking all type of things. Used to chase a basketball, now he chasing pipe dreams. From the door, it was wrong, undetected too long. Bugged out when he was little, now he big double spawn. Little too early yet to kick him out the house. He just wanted some some attention. That's what that was all about. Used to bust down the door, moms cry, pops fight, even family counseling couldn't make this shit right. Word on the street, everybody wanted to do him, from his so-called boys to all the chickens he was screwing. Anybody get the chance, won't probably unload. How much longer sis got before the last brother go? Oh no.
The lesson of today, you have to listen to each and every single word I have to say because
remains fraud, follow the rules. You hear me?
The lesson of today, you have to listen to each and every single word I have to say because
remains fraud, follow the rules. You hear me?
FM radio. We got some shit, y'all, tonight that I think you might enjoy.
You are now listening to FuseBox Radio.
Yeah. Introducing Elder Sensei, Returners, New World, Global Takeover Part 2. Y'all motherfuckers knew we was coming back, didn't you? As we bring the big bang, rearrange. Horns is conjured to keep you entertained. Wordsmith, never plain, hellfire the lames. Untouchable game, Elliot Ness to gang. Deadliest warrior fame, weaponry and trained for tussles of hustlers plain. Patterns like jet planes, exploiting the lane. A rise to the case, screaming at the top of my lungs and spit in your face. Cunning and great for meltdowns. I'm the answer in the crisis when you download the digital devices. Still one of the nicest, use many spices. My school is inviting for scholarships and writing. All screws tighten like construction, I'm well built. The Z stayed chiseled and the frame won't tilt. Firm, rock solid, I'm hawk brawling. Talk silence against like guns and hands of alcoholics. Everybody just listen.
What y'all expected? Nothing but some real shit. It's that hip-hop shit filled with anger.
Classic material the others ain't making. Trade blows with labels, I'm winning every round. Cause the fans wish for the lethal spit that is renowned. Clowns, ruining the namesake. Cats saying they up next, I call just a piece of cake. Lightweight, cruiser, step in the ring, I show you why I'm nicknamed the Bruiser. The mimic sound wave in the booth. Auto-tune is dead like having to go to 2009, death of the program. So continue with newest ish for you to scan. Introduction is more than the beginning. Cause in the half mark, you'll be hoping for no ending. This new world is just a fraction to come. Brace yourself and strap down and prepare for the fun. Returners on support and manning the gun ships. Drill sergeant is me with vocal talent wondrous.
This is Milk D. Right now you're listening to the FuseBox Radio with DJ Fusion. I gets money.
right here on the FuseBox Radio.
DJ Fusion.
We're going to Zion. We're going to Zion as an humble lion. Going to Zion in the morning. Spread on the trumpets gonna sound. The elders gonna meet me. The elders come to greet me. Going to Zion. I'm going to Zion. Going to Zion on the morning train. On that morning train. Boy, no weak heart cannot enter. No weak heart could I never come over. In a Mount Zion. In a Mount Zion. Boy, I'm going to Africa in the morning. Bang bagadang, the drums is gonna sound. My brethren come to meet me. Sisters come to greet me. Going to Africa. I'm going to Africa. Going to Africa on the morning train. On that morning train, going to Africa. Boy, so long way down in mystery Babylon. Full time we leave out this your land. Too much frustration, antagonization. We're leaving Babylon. Leaving Babylon. Leaving Babylon on the morning train. On the morning train. Zion, Zion bound. Zion, we want to go home. Boy, I'm going to Zion in the morning. Spread on the trumpets gonna sound. The elders gonna meet me. The elders come to greet me. Going to Zion. I'm going to Zion. Going to Zion on the morning train. On the morning train. Oh, yeah. No weak heart cannot enter. No weak heart could I never come over. In a Mount Zion. In a Mount Zion. You got to be a noble lion to enter Mount Zion. Your hands on your heart got to be pure and clean. To rally down the red, gold and green. Boy, we're going to Zion. We're going to Zion. An humble lion.
You're now listening to FuseBox Radio with DJ Fusion.
Yes, complicated by factors that were out of my control. So I've been waiting for golden gates and doors to open so I can come out of my fold. And now I'm thinking that it's my time. Don't ever underestimate the power of your mind, 'cause it might be the greatest weapon of all time. Don't ever underestimate the power of your heart and soul, 'cause they might write the greatest love story that's ever been told. I know you're true with love inside of you, but darkness seems to be the only light that shines. You got something that can't be explained, and that's why you always got to keep on trying.
You are now listening to FuseBox Radio.
Wrestle with the devil in the ring of life, in front of a million choices. We're determined to stay alive. I'm in search of a light in a crowd of all this darkness. Smiling at the day I thought would never come, so overjoyed. I already know nothing in this entire world comes without a sacrifice.
Right here on the FuseBox Radio.
DJ Fusion.
You see that black boy over there running scared? His old man in a bottle. He done quit See that black boy over there running scared. His old man got a problem, and it's a bad one. He ain't done pawned off damn near everything. His old woman waiting for bottom. And don't you think it's a crime when time after time after time people in the bottom, there's people living in the bottom. Listen to me, see that sister, her show was fine, she started drinking wine from the bottom. She told me, oh man committed a crime, he's doing time, now she's hanging in the bottom. I seen her out there on the avenue all by herself, and sure need help from the bottom. I seen her, preacher man tried to help her out, she cussed him out and hit him in the head with the bottle. They turned to me, they asked me, kill now, don't you think it's a crime? No way. And time after time after time, people in the bottom, there's people showing up in the bottom. Give another good example. You see that gent in a Rico suit there, he done damn near blown his cool to the bottom. He was a doctor helping young girls along. If they wasn't too far gonna have problems. But the offenders of the Dollar Eagle said, what you doing, man, illegal. Now he's in the bottle. And now we watch him every day. He's trying to chase the prisons away from the bottom. He turned to me, he said, man, now, don't you think it's a crime? The way time after time, friends of mine in the bottom. There's people showing up in the bottom. Come on, hit it a lick one time, stick. Come and looking for me, you know where I'm bound to be in the bottom. Turn around, look around on any corner. If you see some brother looking like a goner, it's gonna be me. Sing the song. Na 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 get a bottle of wine, $1.09, get a bottle of wine, $1.09, get a bottle of wine, a bottle. Yeah, all that I'm concerned about is a bottle. It can turn me inside out of a bottle. All I want, all I want, all I want, all I want, since I'm living on the bottom of a bottle.
Now listening to FuseBox Radio with DJ Fusion.
Look, man, Do not get my block pissed, we'll blast your brain. $200,000 whips and chains. Crooked cop, Crips, crack cocaine. Tupac, Chris, I'm still feeling the pain. 7-year-old girl shot and slain. What does it all mean? We gone insane in the struggle. Stress, mayhem, and panic. Where I'm from, we do not eat organic. Talk about it. You see, my mama cannot afford Whole Foods. She break fast with a prayer and call it soul food where I come from. Let it breathe. Where I come from, no one runs when funds run low in lump sums. We choose to dumb, but it's done. We live in humdrum in the slums with scum conceal stun guns. The words mum for fun, son. Conundrums ain't pretty in this cesspool called New York. Eat it? I call it that cause it smell like ish. Walk around hunchback or you might get hit. I knew it was sick, so cracked to his moms. That same motherfucker, I'm so cracked to his kid. Looking like 300 coming back from his bed like Pharaoh. Let's get this money for real.
In my heart and in my mind, I'm gonna win in due time. Show me the way, give me your side, and I'm gonna shine. 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 I'm gonna shine.
He said, Pharaoh, let's get this money up. What you need me to holler at Steve Rifkin? Hit him escape from New York like Snake Plissken. I told you from the gate that you needed more marketing and these major labels are not listening. Stood in a b-boy stance, teeth glistening from the gold in his mouth, summer breeze was whistling. I contemplated my retort, eyes fixed in on a crucifix around his neck, I guess he was Christian. Just then the police siren had pitched into the soundtrack of the hood, so I spoke with conviction. Spoke as if I was 16 with thick skin. Put a little bass in my voice like pitch bend, cause where I come from, we all come from. Sky, moon, stars, the earth and sun. Multiple skin tones, the blood is one. The pen is the ammo to my automatic gun. Bring to fruition what I write to get me out of the slums. And I'm shine, shine like the sun, the world is mine. Each line of speech designed to transcend time and reach the unborn and transform your mind. And I'm shine.
In my heart and in my mind, I'm gonna win in due time. Show me the way, give me your side, and I'm gonna shine. 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 I'm gonna shine.
Now New York, if you're in the house, if you're turning it out without a doubt, know what I'm talking about. Just scream and shout and everybody say. Now Detroit with the funky beats, getting wild in the street. See the mark of the beast, save the police. What up, X? Shot town with the funky sound, so by the pound. Just get on down with the whoa. You say? West Coast, side with the most, holding your toast, brag the boats. What the whoa, everybody heard. Dirty, you know, dirty, you know, dirty, come on, dirty, dirty, come on, dirty. I say,
5-foot wonder MC Light. Better check out DJ Fusion.
We having a in communication was not said could lead to a bad situation. It could have all been fixed, but now we just waiting. We could have all been cool, it's just a conversation. But now we having a in communication was not said could lead to a bad situation. It could have all been fixed, but now we just waiting. We could have all been cool, it's just a conversation. But now we having a. Have you ever not told somebody something you should have said? You ain't wanna argue or know what was in their head. Put you to the side, don't resolve them issues. No news is good news until it just. You can't take it, can't look at them, can't hang, can't fake it. True steady staring you down, you can't face it. This your own medicine, you can't taste it. Laced it, poison the whole relationship. Man, you know what you did in 99 back when we were just kids. And you fronted me off in front of that chick, but I played it off and gave it a grin. 2002, you had did it again when I was hollering at Tasha and used to push your Saturn. I pulled up to the party, you was pointing and laughing, cock blocking, showing off your Chevy and bragging. At what point in time can we call it a pattern? Cause just the other day you let the same thing happen, Captain. I don't wanna go and expose this, plus I ain't the type to keep bringing up old ish, but I don't wanna smell shit, just call it roses. I'm just trying to go on and close this chapter. He looked at me, said, let me say something. Up to now, you ain't said nothing. Yeah, in communication, it's not saying can lead to a bad situation. It could've all been fixed, but now we just waiting. We could've all been cool with just a conversation, but now we having a yeah, in communication, it's not saying can lead to a bad situation. It could've all been fixed, but now we just waiting. We could've all been cool with just a conversation, but now we having a if you can't talk to a person, don't get involved with a person that'll attack you. Both of y'all will end up on Judge Matthews, arguing about phone bills and rent this past due. Used to be your best friend, now you just that dude. I used to be that dude. If you owe me money, why I got to ask you? Run out and bash you, call your cell phone and you put me to the voicemail. Oh, I harass you? Yeah, in communication, but I'ma say something now because it's escalating. And I don't wanna holler, but I feel like Will Smith in Pursuit. Look, I'ma need that $9. Regardless of all this nonsense, don't say you will if you can't keep a promise. Be honest, at least be honest, cause if it wasn't me, you'd be floating in a pond. Shit, wait, let me just calm down, relax, get myself together before you make me. Yeah, in communication, what's not said can lead to a bad situation. It could've all been fixed, but now we just waiting. We could've all been cool with just a conversation, but now we having a yeah, in communication, what's not said can lead to a bad situation. It could've all been fixed, but now we just waiting. We could've all been cool with just a conversation, but now we having a
Yo, check this out. This is Chuck the Public Enemy. You're now listening to FuseBox Radio with DJ Fusion. Harder than you think.
Ooh, I can't lie. Girl, it's summertime, and you blow my mind. In those sundresses and sandals. Talk like you bad. Talk like you bad.
And it's getting warm, and I can't wait. All winter having visions of her. Damn girl, it's nothing like spring and summer. 4 months and I ain't seen that material. I would love to be how I play with your curves. I'm just trying to find a word. Take you wanna walk with me so you can't talk to me. Talk to me, tell me what it's gonna be. So who will love making? I'm just saying, why you on that walk with me? That tan on your shoulder looking lovely. Toenails done, fly fit. Girl, you the
Ooh, I can't lie. Girl, it's summertime, and you blow my mind. In those sundresses and sandals. Talk like you bad. Talk like you bad. Know you bad. In those sundresses and sandals.
In May, too chilly. June, it got silly. July, off the chain. August, they went insane. You're looking bad with that Birkin, your arm working. Gucci shades, got the sun hurt. Matter of fact, forget all that mess. Simple as best, I just need you in that sundress. Take you wanna walk with me so you can't talk to me. Tell me what it's gonna be. So who will love making? I'm just saying. And why you on that walk with me? That tan on your shoulder looking lovely. Toenails done.
dresses and sandals.
In our recent discussion with author Frank Wilderson about his new book, Red, White, and Black, Cinema and the Structure of U.S. Antagonism, he described a situation where a rabid philosophy of anti-blackness demands that the nation's popular culture depict black people as non-human. Not for material gain, as many suggest. It is beyond that. James Baldwin described this by saying that I exist so that you can know that you are alive. Or when a white man calls me nigger, I ask why he needs me to be one. This is why Wilderson chooses the philosophical description of antagonism, which means a permanency that cannot be dealt with using our current set of tools. This is not an issue of legislation or some failing of an otherwise perfect democracy to be corrected by a vote. Wilderson is asking us to think beyond the current world, which has defined blackness permanently as the slave, the non-human, whose presence can only be to serve and define the presence of others. We are, as Malcolm X said, America's problem, but not simply as an issue of economic exploitation, or as Wilderson says, a threat to some aspects of the world. We are a threat to the cohesion of the world itself. And this is why he says antagonisms have no conceptual resolution in the way that conflicts do. And this is also why Frantz Fanon, quoting Aimé Césaire, said that we must begin to destroy the world. Wilderson's examples include popular films such as Monsters Ball and Antoine Fisher. But hip-hop and R&B lovers need not wait for the more intermittent film industry to see Wilderson's points in action. Each week, and with a volume and popularity unmatched even by film, popular rap music becomes a bludgeon in the hands of this philosophy of anti-blackness. And were we to do Wilderson's point justice, more of us would highlight with more regularity the fact that the portrayal of blackness in popular culture is not about making money. It is not simply a business decision, and it is certainly not because it is what we want. Any given week, only two corporations, Universal Music Group and Sony Music, own minimally 80% and usually upwards of 95% of all the songs making the top 20 spins list on radio. Through ownership and selective promotion via payment to radio stations, these companies assure that their songs, and only their songs, are played as many as 20 to 40,000 times per song per month. This means a Universal Music Group or Sony Music song is playing on commercial radio every minute of every hour of every single solitary day. This means no time for news and certainly no time for other songs. Look up the lyrics of any of these songs and the function they play is clear. This week's most played song is by Sony artist Usher with lyrics that are only about a woman dropping it and popping it on a dance floor. It was played 6,859 times last week alone. And again, this is not about money. Reviewing the annual reports of these companies shows that in 2009, while Universal Music Group may be the largest music company in the world, it accounted for only 14% of its parent company's total revenues. The second largest, Sony Music, only accounted for 6% of the overall sales for Sony Corporation. And by the way, the third largest music company, Warner Music Group, is run by three private equity groups who combined manage funds of well over $110 billion. They don't need popular culture for money. They needed to protect their sense of self and the just nature of their exploitation. This is why we don't see different kinds of films being promoted and why rap albums that have a different content are never on the radio. Mos Def has been in films that have grossed hundreds of millions of dollars around the world, but he is never on the radio. Common also has a budding movie career and has been an Artist of the Year award recipient, but he too is rarely on the radio. It has nothing to do with quality of the art or what an audience is clamoring for. Audiences want what is promoted. Dead Prez has a new album out and it's free, but it also has songs calling for radical political organization and that encourage rappers to study Malcolm Garvey Huey, and therefore will never be on the radio. Not because people don't want to hear it or won't buy it, but culture truly in the hands of the enslaved means more Malcolms, Garveys, Hueys, and Harriets, Assadas, and Claudias. It means an end to the world as we know it, and an end to the world as it is known to those espousing a prevailing non-human anti-blackness. For Black Agenda Radio, I'm Jared Ball. Online, go to www.blackagendareport.com.
You're now listening to FuseBox Radio with DJ Fusion.
We were stripped from our land. They took our family, deliberately broke them apart, put the father one place, the mother someplace else. Then they had the child whose mind was right. Then they indoctrinated him with all this inferiority talk.
Not in Greece, Professor Levin. In Africa with your black relatives.
I'm mad as hell and I ain't gonna take no more.
This business of racism is not new.
tired of my people treated unequal. That's why I'm facing. I gotta face this, so I speak out. And those who don't like it, they freak out. And they label me a racist. I'ma keep stalking me and brothers like Al Sharpton. We don't like what they did to Yusef Hawkins. Why was the trial prolonged for so long? They shot him in cold blood. They knew they was dead wrong. Let a brother man shoot the other man. Nowadays they'll lock him up in a second and throw the key away. Hold up, you think I'll fold up? No, I'm peace. Without no justice, there'll be no peace. No justice. There will never be. Without no justice, there will never be. Without no justice, there will never be. Without no justice, there will never be. See, I'm a full-bred warrior, built to last. A 5%er who descends from the lost tribe of Shabazz. Bearing the truth, I'm not scared of ya. Is this the United States or the United States of America? This is a living hell, and I'm not shocked. I refuse to burn in America's melting pot of Maine. Where you can't refrain me, I make them all. The word was born, it was wrong. How they did to Wanna Brawley. As far as I can see, a privacy was explored. They beat her and raped her, put her in a bag of manure, engraved nigga on her stomach. Up to this day, a lot of people think she fronted. Is it a lie or is it incidental? Victims of rape names supposed to be kept confidential, but she was exploited at a young age. It's such a shame. I never heard the Central Park jogger's name. I'm straight to the point and on the ball. I'll be the universal truth son of man and a fighting call. I pity you idiots like Arsenio Hall. Jokes about our sister, he thinks it's funny, y'all. It's sad to see her go for so much as a minor. I'm glad to see the nation of Islam refined her. You want peace? Well, let the unjust stuff cease. If we don't have justice, there'll be no peace. There will never be. Without, there will never be. Without, there will never be. Without, there will never be. Break it down.
I think that the solution rests with the people. It's a mistake to rely on professors. Racism is learned. Nobody is born a racist. And some people have PhDs in racism.
The mighty maestro created a beat that was lethal. The source to bring forth power to the people. The rhythm was made to be rolled by the host. So I'ma ride the rhythm from New York to the West Coast. Brother man taking a stand, demanding respect. I'm not with the situation in T-Net. They said he was dangerous. Well, I'm concerned. How could he be so dangerous? With his back turned. They said freeze, halt. The brother stopped, threw his hands in the air. Yet still he got shot. He said he had a shiny object in his hand. So they killed the man. Is this justice? No way, Jose. He didn't get arrested. He was suspended with pay. Talking about armed and dangerous. I doubt it. How come I never heard nothing else about it? I'm dead up. I'm going head up. See the buck stops here. I'm sick and tired of corrupt cops. I gotta drop cause I don't think it will ever stop. My brain is a Tech 9 and it's kept cocked. And it's got just a few more rounds to go. They're going pound for pound, blow for blow. You want peace? Let the unjust stuff cease. If we don't have justice, there'll be no peace. No justice. There will never be. Without. No justice. There will never be. Without. No justice. There will never be. Without. No justice. There will never be.
From Pacifica, this is Democracy Now!
My son was murdered. He was murdered. He was murdered. He was murdered. My son was murdered. And the law has not held the officer accountable the way that he should have been held accountable.
Outrage in Oakland. The white transit officer who shot and killed Oscar Grant is found guilty not of murder, but of involuntary manslaughter. The officer shot the 22-year-old African-American as he lay face down on a train platform. Hundreds protest in downtown Oakland. Scores are arrested. We'll get a report from the streets. But first, you've certainly heard of the Deepwater Horizon. But did you know there are more than 27,000 abandoned wells in the Gulf? Are they leaking? Have they been inspected? Then 2 weeks before BP's oil explosion in the Gulf, its massive oil refinery in Texas City began spewing thousands of pounds of toxic chemicals into the skies. We'll talk to a ProPublica reporter who investigated the story and a photographer who was harassed by BP security and detained by local police. And finally, Broke USA, From Pawnshops to Poverty, Inc., How the Working Poor Became Big Business. We'll speak with author Gary Rivlin. All that and more coming up. Welcome to Democracy Now!, democracynow.org, The War and Peace Report. I'm Amy Goodman. A federal appeals court has rejected the Obama administration's attempt to reinstate a 6-month ban on deepwater oil drilling in the Gulf of Mexico. The ban was imposed in May, but a U.S. district judge with extensive energy industry financial ties struck it down last month. On Thursday, the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Fifth Circuit in New Orleans refused to stay the lower court decision. The Interior Department's expected to revise the ban order to address issues raised by the courts. A U.S. district judge in Massachusetts has ruled the federal ban on same-sex marriage is unconstitutional because it interferes with the state's right to define marriage. The ruling came in the cases of 2 separate challenges to the so-called Defense of Marriage Act, or DOMA, of 1996. It applies only to Massachusetts but could have broader implications if upheld on appeal. In California, a former Bay Area police officer has escaped a full conviction for the 2009 killing of the unarmed African-American passenger Oscar Grant. On Thursday, the officer, Johannes Messerly, was found guilty of involuntary manslaughter, but was acquitted on the more serious charges of second-degree murder and voluntary manslaughter, both of which carry longer sentences. Videotape of the killing shows Messerly shooting Grant in the back while he lay face down on a subway platform. Members of Grant's family immediately denounced the verdict. Scores of people were arrested in Oakland last night after protests broke out. We'll have more on the Oscar Grant verdict after headlines. The Pentagon's new nominee to head the U.S. Central Command is expected to draw scrutiny for a controversial record that includes outlandish comments and alleged disregard for Iraqi civilian life. On Thursday, Marine General James Mattis was tapped to replace General David Petraeus, who took over as the top U.S. commander in Afghanistan following the ouster of General Stanley McChrystal last month. As head of Camp Pendleton's 1st Marine Division in Iraq, Mattis played a key role in the 2 U.S. assaults on Fallujah in 2004. The assaults killed hundreds, if not thousands, of Fallujah residents, displaced thousands more, and destroyed much of the city. Mattis later dismissed almost all the charges against 8 accused Marines involved in the November 2005 massacre of 24 unarmed Iraqi civilians in the town of Haditha. Of the 8 Marines originally charged in the case, only 1 still faces prosecution. In February of 2005, Mattis was reprimanded after he told a public event he enjoys fighting in places like Afghanistan because, quote, it's fun to shoot some people. He said, quote, you know, it's a hell of a hoot. I'll be right up front with you. I like brawling. In Pakistan, at least 50 people have been killed and over 100 wounded in a double suicide bombing in a northwest tribal region. 2 attackers detonated their explosives outside a government office. It was one of the deadliest attacks to hit Pakistan this year. The U.S. and Russia have completed what's been described as the largest prisoner swap between the 2 sides since the Cold War era. On Thursday, 10 alleged Russian spies were deported from the U.S. shortly after pleading guilty to charges of acting as unregistered foreign agents. In return, Russia freed 4 Russians who had been jailed on charges of spying for the West. The European Parliament's approved the resumption of a controversial data-sharing program that allows the U.S. to monitor millions of international financial transactions. The records have been obtained through SWIFT, which directs trillions of dollars in international bank transfers each day. The program has been accused of violating privacy rights since coming to light in 2006. European Union lawmakers had rejected a proposed extension of the program earlier this year, despite heavy Obama administration pressure. But on Thursday, the EU Parliament backed a new deal that negotiators say will allow oversight of U.S. investigators involved in the program. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has wrapped up a visit to the United States following his White House meeting with President Obama. On Thursday, Netanyahu told an audience at the Council on Foreign Relations here in New York that Israel, quote, has done enough to address Palestinian grievances and said the Palestinian Authority should drop their conditions for resumption of peace talks.
I decided, unlike any previous government, to freeze the construction in new settlements for a 10-month period to encourage the Palestinians to enter the peace talks. So far, 7 months have passed. They haven't come in. They should come in. They should have come in yesterday. They should have come in 12 months ago, 7 months ago, but we should not waste any time.
Israel has only partially frozen settlement construction, and Palestinians have insisted on a complete freeze before talks resume. Outside of Netanyahu's speech, protesters said the Israeli government should be held to account for war crimes in Gaza and ongoing settlement expansion on the West Bank. Another aid ship, meanwhile, could be making its way to Gaza as early as today. A Libyan state charity group says it's preparing a cargo vessel loaded with 2,000 tons of supplies to depart from Greece. The sailing would come just over a month after Israeli forces killed 9 people aboard the Free Gaza Movement's Freedom Flotilla in international waters. In Canada, the Supervisory Board of the Toronto Police Department has launched a probe into police conduct during last month's G20 summit. Over 1,000 people were arrested in the crackdown. Police have faced multiple allegations of misconduct, including beatings, unlawful jailings, improper sexual contact, and threats of rape. At least 16 people are said to remain in detention nearly 2 weeks after most of the arrests. One of the jailed protesters, Jaggi Singh, is a well-known Canadian social justice activist who was forced to surrender this week. Local officials in Toronto, meanwhile, have acknowledged the massive security fence built for the summit has cost double its initial estimate. The final bill for the 6-mile barrier that cut off large parts of downtown Toronto was $9.4 million. A recent study shows median wages for both high school and college graduates have fallen over the last decade. According to the Economic Policy Institute, the years 2000 to 2009 marked, quote, a prolonged period of wage stagnation. Earnings for high school graduates dropped an average of $3 per week, and earnings for college graduates dropped an average of $5 per week. The wage stagnation preceded the current recession, with wages falling even as the nation's economy expanded from 2002 to 2007. Speaking at a factory in Kansas City Thursday, President Obama said he thinks the U.S. economy is headed to recovery.
And I've said since I took office that my administration will not rest until every American who is able and ready and willing to work can find a job, and a job that pays a decent wage and has decent benefits to support a family. We're not there yet. We've got a long way to go. But what is absolutely clear is we're moving in the right direction.
A new analysis shows wealthier Americans have a higher rate of mortgage defaults than the rest of the population. According to the New York Times, more than 1 in 7 homeowners with loans exceeding $1 million are seriously delinquent. By contrast, the delinquency rate for mortgages below the $1 million mark is about 1 in 12. The U.S. has denied a visa to a prominent Colombian television journalist to attend a fellowship at Harvard University. The journalist Holman Morris has been highly critical of outgoing Colombian President Alvaro Uribe, a key U.S. ally. Morris has helped document Uribe's ties to right-wing paramilitary groups responsible for scores of human rights abuses in Colombia. Uribe has called Morris, quote, an accomplice of terrorism for covering the rebel group, the Revolutionary Armed Forces of Colombia, or FARC. The Colombian government has also tapped Morris's phone and threatened prosecution. Morris was one of 12 journalists selected for Harvard's Nieman Foundation program beginning later this year. But U.S. officials say he's been deemed permanently ineligible for a visa under the terrorist activities section of the USA Patriot Act. In media news, CNN has fired its veteran Middle Eastern editor for a Twitter message in which she says she respected the Lebanese cleric Grand Ayatollah Mohammed Hussein Fadlallah following his death last week. Fadlallah was Lebanon's most eminent Shia cleric. In her Twitter post, Octavia Nasser wrote, quote, "Sad to hear of the passing of Syed Mohammed Hussein Fadlallah, one of Hezbollah's giants I respect a lot," she wrote. Nasser has worked at CNN for 20 years. Here in New York, protesters gathered outside the offices of Major League Baseball Thursday to call for the cancellation of the 2011 All-Star Game in Arizona in the wake of Arizona's anti-immigrant law.
The world is watching Major League Baseball, and they need to make a choice of who they're going to stand with, the racists in Arizona or the millions of fans who support the league and come to the games and say enough is enough. Let's not reward behavior that makes it dangerous for fans and players to be in Arizona.
And newly released archives show President Richard Nixon and his then National Security Advisor Henry Kissinger privately admitted to a CIA assassination attempt in Chile. Nixon and Kissinger were in the midst of a campaign to overthrow Chilean President Salvador Allende at the time of the tape in June 1971. On the recording, Kissinger and Nixon joke about a CIA attempt to kill the top Chilean army commander who supported Allende. The general, Rene Schneider, was killed in 1970 by right-wing Chilean military forces. In an apparent reference to Schneider and the CIA, Kissinger says, quote, "When they did try to assassinate somebody, it took 3 attempts and he lived for 3 weeks afterwards." Kissinger has long claimed the CIA broke off contact with Schneider's killers before the 3rd attempt on his life. The U.S. helped overthrow Allende 3 years later, leading to a military takeover by General Augusto Pinochet. In related news, other recently disclosed archives show the Nixon administration drew up plans for a nuclear attack on North Korea. Nixon reportedly ordered nuclear bombers on standby after North Korea shot down a U.S. spy plane in 1969. And those are some of the headlines. This is Democracy Now!, democracynow.org, The War and Peace Report. I'm Amy Goodman with Juan Gonzalez.
And welcome to all of our listeners and viewers around the country and around the world. Leading environmental groups and a U.S. senator are calling on the government to pay closer attention to more than 27,000 abandoned oil and gas wells in the Gulf of Mexico and take action to prevent them from leaking even more crude following the BP disaster. The calls for action follow an Associated Press investigation that found federal regulators do not typically inspect the plugging of offshore wells or monitor for leaks years afterwards. The AP uncovered particular concern with 3,500 of the neglected wells. Regulations forcing companies to plug the wells have been routinely ignored with no government intervention. The well beneath the Deepwater Horizon was being sealed for temporary abandonment when the rig explosion that caused the disaster occurred. Overall, BP has abandoned about 600 wells.
Democratic Senator Mark Udall of Colorado sent a letter to Interior Secretary Ken Salazar Wednesday, asking him whether the department agrees with AP's findings. Udall wrote, quote, "We can't afford the leak that's now occurring. We certainly couldn't afford additional leaks in the future." Jeff Dunn is the AP reporter who co-wrote the story. He's a member of the Associated Press's National Investigative Team. He's joining us from Boston. We welcome you to Democracy Now!, Jeff. Let's lay out what you found.
We found that there are about 27,000 abandoned wells in the Gulf of Mexico on federal lease lands underneath the Gulf, and that's more than half of the 50,000 or so oil and gas wells that have ever been drilled in the Gulf of Mexico. So there are a lot of wells out there, and we found out that on land, oil and gas wells that have been abandoned do frequently leak, even when they've been plugged correctly, and not just the ancient ones, but even wells that have been abandoned in recent decades. And we also found out that there have indeed been leaks at offshore wells that have been abandoned in both state waters, and the federal regulators finally acknowledged even some in the federal waters that are a little farther out.
And Jeff, what's the difference that you highlight between the temporarily abandoned and the permanently abandoned wells, and what are the federal requirements, if any, to monitor the two types?
Well, it's interesting. The companies that drill in the Gulf temporarily abandoned wells, this is a status that the federal government grants when they are done drilling for a time, when there's perhaps a problem with the well, or they want to reassess the well, or they want to wait till the price of oil or gas gets higher. So they're allowed to temporarily abandon a well. We found about 3,500 of those wells in the Gulf, and they're supposed to undergo annual reviews within a year. The owner of the well is supposed to come back to the federal government and say, hey, we plan to reuse the well in this way, or you know what, we plan to permanently abandon it. And the part of the problem there is that we found wells in that temporary status for decades, since the 1950s and 1960s. And that means they don't have quite the level of safeguards that the permanently abandoned wells are supposed to have. They're not cut off all the way at the bottom of the seafloor. They don't tend to have as many of these cement plugs that prevent oil or gas from coming up the wells. So they're allowed to remain in that temporary status for decades. The rules are basically, I wouldn't say that the rules are flatly ignored. I would say that the rules don't really have any teeth. The companies that abandon wells submit paperwork. Federal regulators simply accept that paperwork, accept that the job is done. They do not routinely come and inspect the work as they do in some states. And then after the well is abandoned, nobody goes back, neither the industry nor the government goes back and checks on whether these wells are leaking. And yet we know from experience with wells elsewhere that abandoned wells, a certain number of them, will eventually leak. And we know from the Deepwater Horizon, which was in the midst of a temporary abandonment job, we know that those kinds of sealing jobs can fail.
Jeff Dunn, can you explain what you just said? I don't think most people understand that it was in the midst of a temporary abandonment.
Yeah, I think you're right. I don't think most people understand that. The BP had been drilling a well there to look for oil, and the reports are that they had found what they were looking for, that they had found oil, and they've been clear that they had just pumped in cement to create one of these plugs that's supposed to temporarily seal the well so that they could leave the well for a time, nobody said exactly how long, and then come back when they were ready to produce with the well. And they can actually drill back through these cement plugs and get at the hydrocarbons underneath. So they were temporarily abandoning the well, and we found the paperwork showing that they intended for the well to enter into that kind of limbo status that some wells have had for decades now.
And, Jeff, your report also indicates that the federal government has been warned for the better part of 2 decades now. There was a GAO report back in 1989 warning of potential problems and possibly even disasters from these plugged wells.
Yeah, that's right. I think that report was in 1994, and the GAO, that's, of course, Congress's investigative arm, warned that these abandoned wells could pose a serious environmental problem. It even used the phrase environmental disaster. And it said the federal government ought to come up with some reasonable program of inspecting these kinds of wells. It never happened. We found records of the EPA saying that on land, these kinds of wells pose a significant threat to the environment, even when they've been fully depleted, because people should understand that even when a well was used for production and it no longer is producing anything in paying quantities, it can become re-energized, repressurized again, sometimes from the aquifers that are underneath that push upward, sometimes from work on other wells nearby. So these wells always have the potential to produce pressure again, and the danger, of course, is that the gas or the oil underneath the seafloor then can push up through spaces in the well and escape into the ocean. Of course, the oil and gas are toxic. They're not supposed to be in the ocean, and they can affect the aquatic species in the oceans.
And what kind of personnel did MMS, the agency in charge of this, have devoted to monitoring these wells?
So ask your question again. I'm not sure I got the sense of it. I apologize.
What kind of personnel did MMS, the agency that was supposedly in charge of offshore drilling, have to monitor these plugged wells?
Well, MMS, they're the new Bureau of Ocean Energy Management, Enforcement, Regulation and Enforcement. That's their new name, where their safety functions have been peeled off to this new agency. They have really very limited personnel. They have some scores of people who are available for inspections in the Gulf. But remember, we're talking about thousands and thousands of active wells, either in some stage of drilling, typically, in the Gulf. So they really, common sense tells you that they have serious constraints on what they can look at, and they've chosen to focus on the wells that are active. It's not clear that they have the resources even to look at the abandoned wells, and I think that was part of what Senator Udall was getting at in his letter to Ken Salazar. Udall is a member of the Energy Committee. Salazar is a fellow Coloradan, like Senator Udall. And I think that's part of what Udall was getting at when he said, do you need some kinds of additional tools to keep these abandoned wells safe?
This has provoked outrage among many leading environmental groups calling on some kind of regulation. Melanie Duchenu, quote, a spokeswoman for Greenpeace, said she was shell-shocked by the AP report, upset the government isn't doing a thing to make sure they weren't leaking. Jeff Down, what do you think has to be done first right now? I mean, this is quite remarkable to talk about tens of thousands of abandoned wells in the Gulf of Mexico.
Well, I think part of what happened is this was a significant problem that was way off everybody's radar. The industry and the government just acted like it was a problem that didn't exist. These wells are gone and forgotten. A federal petroleum engineer told me they're not supposed to leak. So it was something that people weren't paying attention to. Even people in the industry were surprised to realize that there were so many abandoned wells out there. I think what Udall is driving at and what people will begin to think about is whether there might be some value for starters, at least as a first step, to consider maybe whether there should be inspections of at least some of these well sealing jobs as the companies get ready to abandon them. We know that it can be done in a practical way. California, for example, does it, and they make a special effort to inspect the wells that are being abandoned offshore, because they know that if anybody has to come back to an offshore well, it's going to be harder and more expensive. Some of these offshore jobs in the deep wells, they can be thousands of feet deep. Some of them can cost millions of dollars just to abandon the well. And part of the problem is that can't be a profit center for the companies.
Jeff, one final question. I'm shocked by the number here. You have 50,000 wells over 6 years have been drilled in the Gulf. You're talking about 8,000 a year. That's about 25 wells per day for the last 60 years have been drilled in the Gulf of Mexico.
That's right. It started off, of course, a little bit more slowly, and the curve kind of went upward. But there's been a tremendous amount of drilling. It started in the 1940s, and it's increased ever since. There has been more water and more drilling in deeper water, 1,000 feet deep, that kind of depth, even deeper than that in recent years, and that's picking up. And part of the problem with that in this context is that it's just harder to get at the wells, to abandon them when they're that deep. It can be done. It just takes a little bit more time and money to make sure that it's done right. So that's part of the concern as well, that some of these more recent wells that are now being abandoned are going to take more effort to seal properly.
Jeff Don, we want to thank you for being with us, national writer for AP, member of AP's National Investigative Unit that has reported this piece, Gulf Awash and 27,000 Abandoned Wells. We'll link to it at democracynow.org. This is Democracy Now! Back in a minute. Crossroad Blues, Robert Johnson, here on Democracy Now!, democracynow.org, The War and Peace Report. I'm Amy Goodman with Juan Gonzalez.
Well, before we go on to our next story, I want to make a correction on my math over that last segment. That was about 8,000 every 10 years in the number of wells being drilled in the Gulf. It comes out to about 3 wells a day, not 25.
Still a remarkable number in the Gulf of Mexico.
An enormous number for that long a period of time.
Well, let's continue on the issue of oil.
Well, we turn now to a look at a story about the oil giant BP that has received nearly no national attention. Just over 3 months ago, thousands of pounds of toxic chemicals began spewing into the skies from BP's massive oil refinery in Texas City. The release began on April 6th, 2 weeks before the explosion on the Deepwater Horizon oil rig. But it took BP weeks to even realize there was a problem. BP now estimates 538,000 pounds of chemicals escaped from the refinery over a 40-day period.
The journalist Ryan Knutson of ProPublica and Frontline recently traveled to Texas City to investigate what happened. He joins us here in New York. His reporting on the story appears on the website ProPublica.org. Welcome, Ryan. Tell us what you found.
Thanks. Well, we sort of went at this with the question of, well, in 2005, BP had a disaster at this Texas City refinery where 15 people were killed. And after that event, BP said it was a transformational event. They would make a lot of changes to the or to their company. The Deepwater Horizon happened. So we wanted to examine, well, what was the lead up to that explosion and what has been the outcome of the promises to improve the company. And it didn't take long to start finding that there have still been a lot of issues at the Texas City refinery, and most notably, what I thought was interesting was this was a story that was actually in the Daily News of Galveston County that on June 5th that hadn't received any attention elsewhere, that there had been this 538,000-pound release. And what happened in that circumstance was there's something called an ultra cracker at this refinery, and it's an important step in the process to produce gasoline. And there's a hydrogen compressor on this ultra cracker, and it broke down. And what it does is it captures a lot of the pollution that's emitted from this, and it disposes of it safely. Now, when that broke down, BP had a choice. Do we shut down the ultra cracker and lose an important part of producing gasoline that we'd have to buy elsewhere, or maybe reformulate the gasoline? Or do we send everything to a flare and burn it off into the atmosphere? Now, flares, at best case, can destroy 98% of the chemicals that are sent to it, so 2% they know is going to release. At best case, there's also studies that show that as much as 20% of what is sent to a flare doesn't get destroyed and is sent off into the atmosphere. So they decided to send it to a flare, and it took them 40 days to make the repairs. And once they were finished, by the time that they had finished analyzing all the data they had collected during the emissions event, they determined that 538,000 pounds of chemicals released into the atmosphere, most notably 17,000 pounds of benzene. Now, in the state of Texas, if you emit more than 10 pounds in a 24-hour period, you're supposed to report that as an emissions event. In this case, 425 pounds of benzene were being released every 24 hours for 40 days, ultimately leading up to 17,000 pounds.
And this is already a plant that has one of the highest benzene release rates in the country, isn't it?
Right. The Sierra Club did a study that from looking at reportable emissions events from 1997 to 2007 and found that the Texas City refinery was the #1 releaser of benzene in the United States. BP says that it has reduced its benzene emissions there by, I believe, 23% over each year, or 50% from last year. So the numbers have gone down significantly since that 2007 study was completed. But as environmental advocates make the case, so there's already a lot of benzene coming from that refinery. There's a lot of benzene because in that Texas City community because there's a couple other refineries there. So it's
And how is it possible for this release to go on for so long? You would assume that if they know that they were trying to burn some of these gases off with a flare, that they would have a likelihood of a potential for extra releases that they'd be monitoring on a daily basis.
Right, and that's the thing that I had a hard time pinning down from the BP people I spoke with, because I know that, what they said originally is that they've got a method that's approved by Texas regulators to monitor this along the way, and I know that they have fence line monitors that are about 6 feet high, and so if it reaches any sort of threshold, then it pages officials at the refinery and they make a decision. And so apparently the fence line monitors didn't go off. Now the flare is 300 feet tall, so clearly this is going to kind of go out and sort of spread around, and so there's various science about what the concentration is once it reaches the ground. It depends on the wind and things like that.
What does benzene do?
Well, benzene is a known carcinogen, so it doesn't necessarily have immediate, I don't know. Imagine if you were in a room full of it, you'd start coughing and wheezing and that sort of thing, but it's proven that it will increase your cause or your likelihood of getting cancer.
Especially leukemia, right?
Yeah.
Last year, the Occupational Safety and Health Administration, OSHA, fined the company, BP, $87 million for failing to address safety problems from 2005 when they killed 15 people.
Yeah, in 2005 they settled with OSHA for $21 million, and they agreed to a number of improvements at the plant. And one of the main things that they agreed to is they were going to hire an independent auditor to come in and do an examination of the plant, point out things that need to be improved. OSHA says that BP should have made all those improvements by the end of 2009. BP says that it was under the impression that they just needed to have the auditor point these things out by September 2009, and that they could make these improvements as they made maintenance upgrades along the way.
Well, I wanted to go to the issue of the difficulty of reporting this. I want to bring in Lance Rosenfeld, the freelance photographer hired by ProPublica to take pictures of BP's Texas City refinery. While on assignment, he was followed by BP security, then detained by local police. He joins us now from Austin, Texas. Lance Rosenfeld, welcome to Democracy Now! Describe what happened to you.
Simply put, I was hired by ProPublica, like you said, to augment the story that Ryan is speaking of, and I was taking photographs. It was a 2-day assignment, so I had various parts to cover, including basically giving a portrait of the town itself. So I had found a decorative Welcome to Texas City sign on a public highway south of town near the refinery, and simply put, I was taking pictures of that sign. I pulled off the shoulder like I would normally do of the public street, walked over to the median, took the pictures, and then walked back to my car. And I was going to go back to my hotel to file the pictures, and I noticed that I was being followed by a security truck. So I needed gas anyway. I didn't feel like letting this guy, follow me to my hotel. So I pulled into the gas station. He continued on. So I thought really nothing of it. Then police pulled in and essentially, blocked me in as if I was going to try to go anywhere, and got out, asked who I was, and they had got reports that I was taking photographs. And I said, yes, I'm a photojournalist, and they said, we need to see your pictures. And I said, well, without a warrant, I don't feel like I need to show you the pictures. And he said, well, you can show them to us now, or we can do this later with Homeland Security. Sort of it seemed to me like some sort of additional threat. So because I was on deadline, I made the decision to show him the pictures. I just wanted to get this over with. I knew I had nothing, threatening on my photographs. I showed him the pictures, and he took my information. At this time, the security guard that was following me had turned back around, pulled into the parking lot, and he was a BP security guard. And the BP security guard asked for my information as well, and I declined because he's a corporate security guard. So he turned to the police officer who had just taken my information, including my social security number, and I'm not sure exactly what of the information that the police officer took, what of that he gave to the BP officer, but he gave him whatever he needed. And so I protested. I said I didn't understand, why that was happening. I was never on BP property, and so I asked under what grounds was he able to share my information with a private corporation, and basically I didn't get a straight answer. I just got, well, this is Homeland Security procedure. We can call Homeland Security agent Tom Robinson down here. If you have a problem with it. And I said, well, I'm just trying to understand what legal grounds you have to do this, because I was never on BP property. So he said, well, I'll just call Tom Robinson. So he called Tom Robinson, who at the time I didn't know who he was, of course. I've found out since that he's a local police corporal who is the liaison to the FBI and Homeland Security. So, and he heads the local Joint Terrorism Task Force there in Texas City, and I guess maybe the region. So, but at the time I didn't know who he was. They just referred to him as FBI and Homeland Security. They called Tom Robinson. He actually gave me the phone, which I thought was a little unusual. But my natural reaction was to take the phone. Tom Robinson got on the phone and asked me what my problem was, and I said, well, I'm just trying to understand why this is happening with BP getting my information. He said, you're staying there, don't go anywhere until I get there. And so I gave the phone back to the police officer. He said, you need to stay. And at that point, I felt like, the police officer had looked at my photographs on my camera. He had determined that there was no threat. And at this point, why was I being detained? It wasn't clear to me. So other than the fact that Tom Robinson wanted to come down. So he showed up and basically approached me in a very, antagonistic and aggressive manner. He was shaking, he was worked up, he was loud, he was boisterous. He asked what my problem was. He said his main concern was my attitude. And, all I was trying to do was find out why BP was getting my information. And, it was his antagonistic behavior that I had a problem with. I felt like he was harassing me. The BP security guard stepped in, and they both, were trying to relate my activity as a photojournalist to terrorist activity, giving
Lance, various
scenarios.
Lance, was there any follow-up by ProPublica to understand why this was happening, or under what basis? Because obviously if you had been with one of those automated cameras of Google in a car, just driving down the road taking photos, there wouldn't have been any problem, would there?
I guess not. I don't know. I mean, there was follow-up, and the statement that we got from BP said that they were following federal law, and there was another statement that BP followed up with once this sort of hit the blogosphere and airwaves. BP sent another reaction to ProPublica that gave the actual federal code that they were following. So that was my answer. I mean, there was, in fact, a federal code that says BP is required by federal law to submit a report to the NRC. My question then is, and I'm not a lawyer, but my question then is, well, if I was never on BP property and there were no infractions, I was not arrested, then still why was BP getting my information?
We're going to leave it there.
Is still unclear.
And we're going to continue to follow
Sure.
this from Texas City to the Gulf of Mexico, where new rules have been laid down for journalists, making it much more difficult for photographers, videographers to get close to cleanup areas. This is an issue we'll continue to cover. Lance Rosenfeld, thanks for joining us. Freelance photographer who was working for ProPublica, and Ryan Knutson for your piece. The latest piece, BP Texas refinery had huge toxic release just before Gulf blowout. This is Democracy Now! Back in a minute.
We people who are darker than blue, are we gonna stand around this town and let what others say come true? We're just good for nothing, they all figure. A boyish grown-up shiftless jigger. Now we can't hardly stand for that. Or is that really where it's at? We people who are darker than blue, this ain't no time for segregating. I'm talking about brown and yellow too.
We the People Who Are Darker Than Blue by Curtis Mayfield here on Democracy Now!, democracynow.org, The War and Peace Report. I'm Amy Goodman with Juan Gonzalez.
We're going out to Oakland, California, where scores of people were arrested last night in protest over the verdict in the Oscar Grant shooting. Grant was the unarmed 22-year-old African-American man who was shot dead by a white transit officer on an Oakland train platform on New Year's Day, 2009. Cell phone videos of the shooting show the transit officer, Johan Mercilli, pulling out a gun and shooting Grant in the back while he was laying face down on the ground on the train platform. On Thursday, a jury in Los Angeles convicted Mercilli of involuntary manslaughter, but he was acquitted on the more serious charges of second-degree murder and voluntary manslaughter. The jury included 8 women and 4 men. No African Americans served on the jury. Mercilli will be sentenced on August 6th. Involuntary manslaughter carries a penalty of 2 to 4 years in prison, but a sentencing enhancement for using a gun means he could face an additional 3 to 10 years behind bars.
Members of Grant's family expressed shock that Mercilli was acquitted of second-degree murder. Grant's mother, Wanda Johnson, spoke outside the courthouse.
That the system has let us down, but God will never, ever let us down. Though the system has failed us, though we fight continually, but you know what? One thing I know, that the race is not given to the swift nor to the strong, but to the one who endures till the end. And as a family and as a nation of African-American people, we will continue to fight for our equal rights in this society. The scripture tells us that the rich bribe the judges, and certainly we have seen the judges be bribed. Certainly we have seen how this judicial system has worked. On such a case as this, we couldn't even get 6 hours of deliberation. And we have a new juror who came in who had not even probably reviewed the evidence with the other jurors. But the jury had already had their minds tainted. And so I believe, I still remember what Dr. King said, that he had a dream. I believe that one day, as a nation of people, that you guys will not look at us according to the color or content of our skin, but that we will be treated right as a people. And my son was murdered. He was murdered. He was murdered. He was murdered. That's right. My son was murdered. And the law has not held the officer accountable the way that he should have been held accountable. And I look at this, and I just say, like my brother said to any other family who goes through this, do not give up. Do not give up. Even though this system will fail us and let us down, God will never fail us, nor will he let us down. And I will trust in him until I die.
Wanda Johnson, the mother of Oscar Grant. The family's attorney, John Burris, also spoke to the media after the verdict.
Now, of course, we feel that the involuntary manslaughter conviction is better than no conviction at all. we do recognize and appreciate that there probably is some historical significance that I, in my long history, being involved in police matters since 1979 and well over 30 homicides involving the police, I've never had a case where an officer was convicted of any crime against an African-American male. So in that sense, it's a small victory, but it does not in and of itself fairly and accurately represent that the system works. But it cannot work in a situation where a person is killed with his hands behind his back, with an officer over him, claiming that he's seen something, and that becomes an involuntary manslaughter.
Burris, attorney for Oscar Grant's family. John Hamilton was in Oakland yesterday and filed this report.
The streets and highways leading out of Oakland were packed with cars early Thursday afternoon as jurors announced a verdict in the Johannes Messerly murder trial was imminent. By 4 p.m., when the jury rendered its verdict, much of downtown Oakland appeared to be a boarded-up ghost town. At the Alameda County Courthouse, District Attorney Nancy O'Malley said she was disappointed, but that the verdict was a partial success.
The jury also found true that Johannes Messerly used his gun, and that finding itself indicates to us that the jury completely rejected Messerly's claim that he had actually been grabbing his taser. As you are well aware, that we believe that Johannes Messerly was guilty of the crime of murder. We presented the case that way, we presented the evidence that way, and the jury found otherwise. No justice! No justice!
A few blocks away near Oakland City Hall, a crowd of many hundreds gathered, calling Messerly's conviction on involuntary manslaughter charges far short of justice.
I'm afraid, I'm scared. This is just another reminder in my life, in my 29 years on this earth, that my worth to this society is not that much. I'm saddened for the family of Oscar Grant and other families who have witnessed or been a part of or victimized by certain and similar violence to Oscar Grant, because he's not the only one. And unfortunately, this happens in a lot of different circumstances.
I think we kind of expected that something like this would happen because there's a long history of police abusing minorities and people that don't have much money, put it frankly, and then getting slapped on the wrist. So when the trial got moved to LA, we kind of figured something was going to happen that would be more lenient than a typical murder charge.
And to hear involuntary manslaughter, it's a slap, to me it's a slap in the face to specifically African American men in this country, but also humanity in general. Michael Vick did 2 years for a dog being killed on his property. Johannes Messerly is going to do 2 to 4 years for murdering a man execution style. There's something wrong with the picture in my frame of reference.
Much of Johannes Messerly's defense centered on the contention that the former transit officer thought he was drawing a taser weapon rather than a firearm when he shot and killed Oscar Grant. Oakland City Councilwoman Rebecca Kaplan.
Well, this horrible crime and horrible tragic loss of life occurred in part because people policing BART were carrying both tasers and guns. And guns in that kind of small enclosed environment that you have in a BART car are very dangerous. And I think it's worth asking the question whether they really should be carrying guns or not.
What made Thursday's verdict of involuntary manslaughter so hard to swallow for many Oakland residents were the multiple video cameras that recorded Oscar Grant's killing. West Oakland community activist and artist Kat Brooks.
I cannot reconcile what I saw on the video with the verdict today. How many angles do you need to look at that tape to understand that that was murder? Had to be at least 1,000 people out here tonight. They're in Los Angeles, mobilized tonight. We all know it's murder. Across the country, we know it's murder. You know, but there's nothing new in America. Black and brown babies have been being killed by law enforcement for hundreds of years. Before law enforcement, it was slave owners. It's the history of this country. What the miracle of this is that finally, for the first time, a police officer was put on trial for murdering an unarmed civilian. The tragedy of it is that black and brown people were told yet one more time that their lives mean nothing in this country.
As hundreds filed out of downtown Oakland, many others remained, shadowed by an increasing number of riot police.
I would like people to express themselves but try to be peaceful about it. I don't think it helps us to break windows of small business owners in downtown Oakland. I know everybody's mad and a lot of people feel like it was not the right punishment, but we have to come together as a community on a regular basis, not just when something bad happens, not just when it's a tragedy.
As the sun drew low, police put on gas masks and declared an unlawful assembly.
Section 409 of the Penal Code prohibits remaining present at an unlawful assembly. If you remain in the area just described, regardless of your purpose, you will be in violation of Section 409.
Soon, anger over the Messerly verdict boiled over as demonstrators smashed windows and set small fires.
Well, the overwhelming majority of people behave very appropriately. And, you know, it's unfortunate there were a handful of people throwing things, but I want to make it clear the overwhelming majority of people here have been behaving peacefully and appropriately and deserve to be respected for this call for justice. At least one woman was injured when a police car backed into her. Dozens of downtown businesses had their windows smashed. A few suffered looting. Police made scores of arrests with an exact number yet unknown.
We've been pushed back as far as we can go. You have some people back there who have been barricaded and trapped in, and they're attempting to get us to leave. They're pushing us all, and they don't want us here because we're speaking truth. Half these police officers don't even live out here. They traveled here, but we live here every day. I live here every day. I work here, I go to school here, take care of kids here. I ain't going nowhere. So they gonna have to break me down. Simple as that.
No justice, no peace.
For Democracy Now!, I'm John Hamilton in Oakland.
Again, the transit officer, Johannes Messerly, faces 2 to 4 years in prison, but a sentencing enhancement for using a gun means Messerly could face an additional 3 to 10 years behind bars. He'll be sentenced on August 6th. This is Democracy Now!, democracynow.org, the War and Peace Report. Juan?
Well, on Wednesday night, Wells Fargo announced it will stop handing out subprime loans and close down 638 Wells Fargo financial offices. Until very recently, the bank was at the forefront of subprime lending in poor and middle-income communities of color across the country and was sued last year by Illinois and the city of Memphis, Tennessee, and Baltimore, Maryland for deceptive and discriminatory mortgage lending. But Wells Fargo and other big mainstream banks didn't invent this kind of predatory lending. They were inspired by an industry that has long exploited the working poor. It's an industry that has become a fixture across America. Mom-and-pop pawn shops, payday loan brokers, rent-to-own stores, and storefront check cashing operations.
These might be small companies, but our next guest argues that they invented the subprime loan. Best-selling author, former New York Times reporter Gary Rivlin says their rapacious practices laid the foundation for powerful mainstream banks to get into the subprime business and turn it into a multi-billion-dollar enterprise. He calls this the poverty industry. He wrote the book Broke USA, From Pawnshops to Poverty, Inc., How the Working Poor Became Big Business. It's just out. Welcome to Democracy Now! Lay it out for us, Gary.
So what really struck me are the profits being made here. We've always had a poverty industry. Pawn shops go back centuries. Check cashers have been around since the 1930s. But what's changed is you used to be able to get a big house, drive a Cadillac, rich. But starting in the 80s and 90s, with Wall Street's help, with the help of the big banks, with the Wells Fargos of the world, suddenly this became huge business. And people figured out how to take old line businesses like check cashing and pawn shops, take them public on Wall Street and make tens of millions, hundreds of millions of dollars. There's 7 publicly traded check cashing companies. At the same time, we saw all these new inventions. The subprime mortgage came around because of deregulation in the 1980s. In the late 1980s, you started seeing subprime credit cards. And the banks saw the amount of money the subprime entrepreneurs were making selling these credit cards. They were making 2 or 3 times the rate on their subprime customers as they were on their regular customers. So, of course, the J.P. Morgan Chases of the world, the big banks got into the subprime credit card. And then, finally, you saw all these new inventions. The payday loan came around in the early 1990s. These instant tax mills, which you see in working class communities all around the country. Get your tax refund today or tomorrow rather than waiting 2 or 3 weeks. And oh, by the way, you're going to pay a triple-digit interest rate typically to get your money that quickly. Really preying on people so desperate for their money that they'll pay a huge premium to get it tomorrow rather than waiting the 2 or 3 weeks. So really, I just was struck that this was a Wall Street phenomenon. In the last 20 or 30 years, these have become multi-billion-dollar industries.
Well, the payday loans in particular, they basically did not exist before the mid-1990s in most places around the country. How did they develop and grow so rapidly?
So I really wanted to find I call them the pioneers of subprime. I really wanted to find the people who invented these various products to hear their side of the story. So I went to Cleveland, Tennessee, where Alan Jones, the man who invented the modern-day payday loan industry is, and I spent a couple of days with him, and of course he sees himself as noble. I mean, he's a payday loan, for those who don't know, it's a quick cash advance against your next paycheck, against a Social Security check, against an unemployment check, $200, $300, $400. You don't have the money now, you need to fix your car and stuff. And in theory it makes sense. What do you do if you don't have a rich uncle, you don't have a credit card, you need to fix your car, you need a new refrigerator because it broke? The problem is that the person who's so desperate for a loan today that they'll pay fees that work out to an annual interest rate of 400% or more, those people who are so desperate today, how in 2 weeks when the loan is due are they going to have the extra $300 they borrow plus the $45 in fee on top of their regular bill? So you see a cycle. You see people get stuck, and even the industry confesses that the average person takes 2 or 3 months to pay back one of these loans. So instead of $15 for every 100, you're sometimes paying $100 for every $100 you loan. And the academics, the consumer rights groups, they find that the average person takes out 12 or 13 of these a year. That's half the year. You have a loan that has an effective interest rate of 400%. 1/5 of the people have it 21 or more of these loans a year. So if you're borrowing $500 and you can't pay it back, you're effectively paying $2,000 in fees for that same $500. And these are the people who could least afford to pay those kind of rates.
The payday lenders say this is an emergency product. What did you find during your time spent with these major chains?
I went into this thinking, a payday loan, it's a necessary evil. It's a lot of money, but it's an emergency loan. What really struck me is the aggressiveness with which they sell these things. They're creating a lot of the demand. The big chains, or some of the big chains, if you haven't been in their store in 30 days, 60 days, they will call you and try to induce you to an emergency loan, but they're actually calling you to get you in. Most of the chains, the first loan free. It reminds me of what drug dealers do. Like, kind of hook you with that first loan, and then you're stuck because it's going to take you a long time to get out. They upsell you. You come in, I need $200 quickly. Well, you qualify for $500, and they'll repeat over and over again, you can have $500. So again, it's their techniques more than the product itself that bothers me, and of course the fees they charge.
And one of the big figures, Sandy Weil, the big executive in the merger of Travelers and Citigroup. Can you talk about his involvement in this industry?
He's the king of poverty, Inc. He was kicked out of American Express at around the age of 50 and wanted to make his comeback. And so he bought this third-rate consumer finance company. They make loans. You want to buy a refrigerator, you want to buy furniture, they'll finance it for 15, 18, 20, 22%, huge fees. It's a really lucrative business. And they started getting into the subprime mortgages. They could. With deregulation, they could charge those kind of rates on mortgages. And so he used the cash he was generating from this company to buy Travelers, and of course eventually bought Citigroup. So in a way, Citigroup is the king of the subprime industry. They've helped fund some of the businesses I've been talking about, Pawn, etc. They were one of the lead writers of subprime mortgages, and of course they did the Wall Street thing of securitizing these, slicing and dicing them, and selling them off.
Gary, we have to wrap up here, but we're going to continue this online at democracynow.org and talk about some of the heroes in the battle against the predators. Gary Rivlin's book is called Broke USA, From Pawnshops to Poverty, Inc., How the Working Poor Became Big Business. That does it for our broadcast. Democracy Now! Produced by Mike Berkshire, for Dukadusa, Armata, Angela Comet, Steve Martinez, Nicole Salazar, Hani Masood, Robbie Karen. We're headed to Haiti for the 6th-month anniversary of the earthquake. If you have ideas for stories, write to stories@democracynow.org. I'm Amy Goodman with Juan Gonzalez. Thanks for joining us. Democracy Now! Is a listener-supported grassroots global news hour. You make it possible when you donate at democracynow.org. Thank you so much.
1, 2, 3, 4.
You are now tuned in to the FuseBox Radio Broadcast with DJ Fusion and Jon Judah.
You're as good as they say you are.
Syndicated worldwide to bring real black radio back to the masses.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are now witnessing FuseBox Radio.
Yo, you checking out FuseBox Radio with Jon Judah, and this is yours truly, Big Guru, the icon.
Now, along with the United States Marine Color Guard to sing the national anthem, famed recording artist Marvin Gaye.
Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleam? Stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, oh Lord, oh the fight, oh the ramparts we watched were so gallantly. Yeah.
FuseBox Radio.
There's no earthly way of knowing which direction we are going. There's no knowing where we're rowing or which way the river's flowing. Is it raining? Is it snowing? Is a hurricane a-blowing? Not a speck of light is showing, so the danger must be growing. Are the fires of hell a-glowing? Is the grisly reaper mowing? Yes! The danger must be growing, for the rowers keep on rowing, and they're certainly not showing any signs that they are flowing!
Right here on the FuseBox Radio. Right here on FuseBox Radio. Way back in the time.
The real thing. James Brown. Billy Otis Redding.
Back in the day, they used to say, play that song, get it going, and the band play. And still today, you hear it say, play that song all night long, Mr. DJ. No times have changed, it's still the same. We all need a minute to get away. So let it go and feel the flow. If you got soul, let the world know. We're gonna set the mood. Set the mood up right. Go back. Do it old school. Do it old school for a rewind. Yeah. To another time when the originators, innovators were alive. Yeah. And we sing so now. Break out the mouth and get your Eddie James, your Lady Day, and Coltrane. Turn up your 45s, bring back to life the sound and vibe of yesterday. Open your mind, enjoy the ride. Get out tonight and grab that soul. Take it back in the day, back in the day. Oh, baby, back in the day. Won't you take me back? Back in the day. I'm so back in the day. Oh, yeah.
Back in the day, you did Ray Charles, Nat King Cole, Miles Davis, Elvis Jones.
Now chain of fools and respect was the anthem of a woman. Aretha said, what's going on? Let's get it on. Such classic songs, don't forget them. Though times have changed, they still remain my inspiration every day. So give it up for the ones who came before. Open up that door. We're gonna set the mood. Set the mood. Go back. To an old school. To an old school groove. Rewind. To another time.
Take it back. Tell me how to take it back. Way back, 5 heartbeats were doing the sick. Go and see James Brown, he was doing the split. My mama made love to Al Green. Everybody puffin' loud, no need for Visine. In the broke Hyundai on Soul Sunday, they was cruising along to the Nina Simone. Had a little Ray Charles and Louis Armstrong. Wild as Rick James, he was in his own zone. It was known Bob Marley was made for the rosters. Well, most of the mobsters were banging Sinatra. Even high class people like lawyers and doctors had their eyes with haze to the Isaac Hayes. I banged Jimi Hendrix out of the Jeep while Premier's on the MP banging the beat. I've been in love with Christina since the minute that I've seen her. No one mean her with the vocal, baby, she a real singer. Let's go.
Right here on the FuseBox Radio.
reason for the cold, and it's fire undisclosed. It's a privacy that you're sure adore. Never wonder, 'cause I know ain't no other got this love. Lady lover, lady soul, you're my discovered pot of gold. I found the cure. Sure enough,
check it out. You better you take it there, yeah.
Right here on the FuseBox Radio. right here on the FuseBox Radio.
You are now listening to FuseBox Radio, bringing the best of hip-hop and soul music, news, and commentary from all over.
Prejudice. No. Ignorance. No. Bigotry. No. Illiteracy. No.
Right here on the FuseBox Radio.
FuseBox Radio.
As I travel through this great big country of ours, this US of A, and being on the road as much as I do, I try to listen to a lot of the radio stations. It's amazing how many KISS or V103 stations there are. Jesus Christ, did people run out of call letters or what? Come on. Anyway, most of the stuff on the radio is so sad, it's a drag. One of the reasons could be because every song is about, oh, you guessed it, huh? Love. 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 L-O-V-E. What the world needs now is not another love song. Now dig, check this out. The love that's professed in these songs is shaky anyway. It's a lustful, selfish, into-the-world love. And the lyrics? Have you tried to listen to the lyrics? You heard them all before. My love is higher fire and desire. Let's stay together forever, despite all types of weather, even a hurricane. In fact, I'd spend a winter in Chi-Town. And you know that's cold. Ain't no mountain high enough, ain't no river wide enough to keep me from getting to your good stuff. You know it's rough. Emotion, devotion, love, 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 sex, 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 booty, 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 titty, titty, titty. Forget about the courting, let's get married. At the chapel of love. You got me crying, you got me dying. My heart is aflame, and then you came into my life of strife.
But now I can go home. You give your love, my dove, my pet, my love, my Sharia more, my little cheese Danish from Junior's. Oh, give me more, more, more on the flow, flow, flow. Oh, oh, oh.
It's been a long time, I had given up hope. What a dope, like soap on a rope. I went for the okie dope. You know this is true. He blew L-O-V-E, S-E-X. I'll be a happy chappy, also nappy. I get the shivers down to my livers. Other guys just feed your lines, but I take it in Mickey D's. Baby, I'm on my knees, please, baby, please. But this ain't that song, it's getting long. My nature is rising to the horizon, as strong as an ox, like a Clorox box. You're a bad mama jamma. But you already know that. Just point me in the right direction. Only you give me that serious connection. Get out of my dreams. And into my car. But wouldn't you like to ride my Mercedes-Benz? It's paid for. If not, I also got a pink Cadillac. I got it like that. My love is brewing. My love is stewing. Could it be? Yes, it be.
Like a pencil to a pen, like a chicken to a hen. I could have been, if you could have, would have, should have. Love won't let me wait. Come on, baby, I'm double parked. You're so fine, blow my mind every time. Stop on a dime, just in time.
Right here on the FuseBox Radio.
As a surprise, you opened my eyes. Why? Because I love you. Let me spend the rest of my life with you tonight. If you don't, I'll just roll up into a ball and just die. Won't wash, won't eat, won't even go to work if you don't love me, dude. I'll even give up my 4-season tickets to the New York Knicks, courtside. And you know how I feel about basketball. That's gotta be L-O-V-E. Let me call you my own. Shower me with your cones. Let them rain down on me like a monsoon. Let your love come down, flow down, drown me in that stuff. I wanna swim in it, do 20 laps. The breaststroke is my specialty. L-O-V-E. L-O-V-E.
yeah. DJ Judah FuseBox in the mix, yeah. Check it out, you ready to take it there, yeah.
Come on, let's not be late. The show starts in an hour.
The main room.
30, 30, 30, 30, 30, 40, 40, 40, 40, 40. Dwyer, 50, 50, 50 soul of Anisha for 50 Libra. Come here, you. The slave auction is over. All right, take all these rejects over the Coliseum, sell them for lion bait.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. What is this with lions? I can't go to the lions. I cannot go to the lions. Oh, no, because I happen to know that the lions only eat Christians. And I am a Jew. Jewish person. Yes, I can prove it. Watch this. Look at it. Hava, Nagila, Hava, Nagila, Hava, Nagila, Vedishwa. Everybody. Hava, Nagila, Hava, Nagila, Hava, Nagila, Hava. Wait, listen, you can make a lot of money with me.
Wait a minute. Money? Come here. How?
I'm very entertaining. I got special talents. I'll show you. Look out. For the native Shim Sham sand dance.
Hey, what country you from?
Ethiopia.
What part?
125th Street.
I'm gonna sign him up.
And that's the Ethiopian Shim Sham. Good.
Put it there, pal. I'm Comicus, stand-up philosopher. Who are you?
I'm Josephus, and I'm the main course at the Coliseum.
Main course at the Coliseum. Say hello to some friends of mine. This is my agent, Swiftest Lazarus.
Hey, you're good, man.
And this is Miriam. She's a Vestal Virgin.
Hi.
Seize him!
Oh, seize this, Honkus.
Oh! Don't ever say that to the cops! Seize him!
Right here on the FuseBox Radio.
Yo, you checking out FuseBox Radio with Jon Judah, and this is yours truly, Big Guru, the icon.
FuseBox Radio. Right here on the FuseBox Radio. Right here on the FuseBox Radio.
Right here on the FuseBox Radio.
I think you'll agree. It's dynamite. That's all the time we have tonight. Join us next time. Good night.